The Insurrection Act wasn't born from fear of chaos. It was born from fear of the people, especially after the revolution was over. Hey folks, I'm Tad Sturmer. I teach public history at Johns Hopkins University. I'm the author of the forthcoming A Resistance History of the United States. Let's talk about Trump, treason, and the Insurrection Act. What Trump is tapping into when he sends U.S. troops into Los Angeles isn't just the language of authoritarianism, it's the tools of authoritarianism. And those tools didn't begin with him. They began with the same men who claimed to fight for liberty, then wrote laws to shut it down once they were in charge, once they got their authority, once they got into power that they were jealous of keeping away from other people. So let's name it. George Washington signed the first Fugitive Slave Act, 1793, empowering enslavers to hunt down freedom. Washington used that himself to go after only judge. John Adams passed the Alien and Sedition Act, 1798, criminalizing speech that criticized the government. Used today against you. Thank you, Founding Fathers. And Thomas Jefferson, yes, the man who once wrote, "Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God," signed the Insurrection Act into law in 1807, just one day before leaving office. Thank you again, Founding Fathers. Used today against you. Now, Jefferson didn't write it, but he owned it. It was designed to let presidents deploy troops inside the United States without a governor's consent when they deemed it necessary. That's one word carrying a lot of weight there. The reason? Fear that Aaron Burr and his conspiracy and frontier uprising might spiral into real popular resistance. Oh my God, the people might in fact speak. Jefferson, like the others, wanted to control the aftermath of a revolution they could no longer contain. So when revolutionaries become rulers, they rewrite the rules to protect themselves. And we saw that happen in the first 30 years after the founding of the United States. So the Insurrection Act has been used repeatedly not to protect democracy, but to smother it, to crush labor strikes, Pullman in 1894, to put down black uprisings, Detroit 1967, to confront civil rights demands, Little Rock, 1957, to disband veterans protesting poverty, the Bonus Army, 1932, and nearly in 2020, to stifle nationwide protests for racial justice, when Trump threatened to invoke it after Lafayette Square. And don't think the Posse Comitatus Act fixed this. That was passed in 1878 to stop federal troops from occupying the South during Reconstruction. But the Insurrection Act survived as the loophole, still active, still abusable. Back in 1788, anti-federalists, you know how much I love these people, saw this coming. They saw all of this coming, by the way, all of it. The biggest fear in the ratifying conventions wasn't foreign kings. It was a federal army sent against the people. So they asked, who controls the militias? Who stops a president who decides the people themselves are the threat? A point that they raised over and over and over again, from Massachusetts to Virginia to New York. And they never got a good answer. And now we're living in that silence. Henry David Thoreau wrote, "The question is not about the weapon, but the spirit in which you use it." We now have both. The weapon, the Insurrection Act, and the spirit, authoritarianism, wielded openly and proudly. So this isn't just Trump's overreach. It's the system working exactly as designed. A theme of everything we've been discussing lately. When the people at the top feel the ground shifting underneath of them. The only real question now isn't whether the troops should be deployed, it's whether we still pretend that this republic protects resistance or just punishes it.